Hey everybody, welcome to episode 9 of Werit at War. This week we are taking a look at the legacy of Rakata Flashpoint. Now originally this footage was about 14 minutes long, but I don't even think I would sit through that, so I cut it down to a nice 6 minutes. So I don't show the full boss fights, but I do show all 3 of the boss fights that are in this Flashpoint. The first one you see here, we fight a Rancor and this War Chief guy. It was an alright fight. I mean, going against a Rancor is always cool. So, I think there's a couple of fights of those in operation, so it was nice to see one at Flashpoint. Overall, there was nothing too special about this fight. Some stuff to avoid on the ground, and that's really about it. It wasn't very challenging. This is the second time that I've done this Flashpoint. The first time I did it, I forgot to have fraps running, so I only realized that later on that night when I was laying in bed. So I had to run it again. I usually don't run things more than once, but I did this time, and it was actually pretty fun still. We didn't die in any of the fights, so I wouldn't say that it's very challenging, but they were decent fights. I'm not sure I'll do it again. I would like to get the decoration involved with it, but I'm not going to run groups just for decorations. Maybe an operation here and there using Group Finder or a guild group. So the Legacy of Rakata Flashpoint. This is part 3 of the Forged Alliance's story arc. We chased the 2 guys I mentioned in the previous video. We tracked them to this planet, and we came down here to see what's going on. Now the Rakata are the Infinite Empire race in Star Wars lore. They had like a 1,000-year empire or something like that. But on this planet, their society has degenerated into a very tribal type society. And they just live among the ruins and stuff like that. The second fight was kind of interesting just because there are a ton of ads that you have to deal with before the boss becomes vulnerable again. Again, this wasn't very difficult. The ads don't hit very hard, and as always you have these extra healing stations. You just really have to avoid standing in the red. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Kill the ads and don't stand in the red, and then shoot the boss when the ads are gone. Overall, I thought the Flashpoint was pretty well done. The environment was great. It's very tropical, but it looks great. There's a great setting. Everything flows nicely. The water effects look very nice. And the fights were alright. The boss fights were not bad. So overall, I think it was pretty good. I liked it better than the assault on Korriban and the Korriban incursion and the assault on Typhon, but not as much as the depths of Manan. I thought that was really cool since it was underwater. So anyway, the big reveal that leads up to the expansion is at the end of this Flashpoint. Basically, it's not a huge surprise considering that the 2 boss guys in this are Revenites, meaning they follow Revan. So it wasn't a big surprise when Revan appears at the end, and that leads into the 3.0 expansion. This is the last fight. The thing with this fight is you fight 2 bosses and you have to kill them within a certain amount of seconds of each other. Both times we ran it, we had no problems doing this. You just kind of keep switching targets so their health bars match. And then when there's a sliver left, you kill one and then the other. The voice effects were pretty cool. They barked out some nice things. So the expansion. They actually released a teaser this week, and it was basically just a teaser. It was about 20 seconds long. It really didn't say, it just showed Revan lighting his lightsaber. That's about all it showed. There's no, and there was some text that just said he's back or something like that. Something a little more eloquent than that, of course. But there's nothing to be gleaned from it. There's a thread on the forums about the setting that it was in, and people think that it is Yavin 4. Now, I don't know what Yavin 4 architecture looks like, so I can't say if it's true or not, but that's what people are guessing. Yavin 4 has been rumored to be a planet for a while now, as I think some assets have made their way into the game files and they've been data mined. Alright, that about covers it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this look at Rakata Prime, and I'll see you next week.
You gotta do better than that.